Should Black America join with the immigrants in the fight for freedom? Now, a lot of people are asking that question, and a lot of people have answered, but we want to give you our perspective, and we want you to collectively listen to the argument on why we should, why we shouldn't, why we will, and why we won't. Because a lot of Black Americans are looking at this and saying, I want to be a part to help because I see families are being dispersed across the world, and mothers and fathers are being separated from their children, children being separated from their parents. A lot of things are taking place, okay? But also at the same time, there's a destruction taking place, okay? And we see a lot of police activities everywhere. We see the military involved, and we see a lot of destruction, especially in Los Angeles. They're doing a lot of tearing up and burning up. And is this our fight? Is this for us to get involved? Let's look at what I'm talking about.
Should Black people be getting involved in this issue? Or should we stay laser focused on our own people? Because we're still fighting for basic dignity in this country.
Here is my position on the migrant crisis and the migrant protests that are sweeping the country. No group has ever come to America to help Black people. No group has ever helped Black people. You've had individuals participate in Black struggle, but never as a community. European Jews never said we're going to help Black people as a community. Latinos never said we're going to help Black people as a community. They come here to replace us. And most of them align themselves with the white power structure against African people. With that being said, I do not support Black people getting involved in the migrant protests. That is not our fight. If you say you're going to do it, am I going to stop you? No. I would never stop someone from doing something that they feel is right. Is Dr. Umar participating? Absolutely not. Am I going to help Donald Trump get them out of the country? Absolutely not. Because as the victims of oppression and the worst victims of American oppression, it would be complete hypocrisy for me to work against the best interests of another people.
With the immigrants, cuz we need to go downtown and protest with the essays.
Go down there and protest.
Yeah, you know, Black and brown love. We are allies, blood.
Let me think about that.
Like, man, LA, dog, if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. LA's racist.
But at the time, Martinez in that recording also referred to the child as a monkey. The councilman in a statement called the comments vile and disgraceful and said that, quote, Martinez attacked her son with horrific racist slurs and talked about her desire to physically harm him.
We don't want to sign to no Blacks.
Right.
Southsiders do want, guess, I don't want to speak on it, but we don't want to sign to no Blacks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Mexican gang, they already have their laws.
Yeah.
And you're going to follow their laws.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sleep in a cell with a Black guy.
Really?
No, it's against the law.
A Mexican gang member cannot have a Black cellie.
No. He has to go to the hole.
So he has to basically fight that guy.
They sabotage Black and white people on jobs, get Black and white people fired on jobs, and then you will see their cousins, their uncles, their brothers, their sisters, and everybody on the job got fired because they didn't try to get you out of there, and their whole family is there. And don't let one of them get to become a supervisor.
You know what? I'm going to just sit this one out.
For real, folks? Are you sure?
Yeah, I am sure.
To protest with the immigrants, cuz.
What?
We need to go downtown and protest with the essays.
Go down there and protest.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's a lot of different dialogue taking place in regards to this topic. More importantly, we want to know, what do you think? Should African Americans get involved in this struggle? Should we be a part of it? If so, let's talk about it. Get in the comment section. Let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about this issue because it is a big issue in the United States today. So leave a comment so we can open up a dialogue and have a discussion on should African Americans get involved in this. And the question is also, are we next? Are they going to find a way to kick us out the country? Something to think about. Now, Dr. Umar has a proactive approach towards African Americans, which I do understand, because we have a lot of struggles that we still have to overcome when it comes to the American justice system, the school system, the employment system. We have a lot of struggles to overcome ourselves, okay? So why aren't we more focused on that?
If we are next, we were going to be next anyway. Because guess what? They hate you more than the migrants they're trying to get rid of. And one of the reasons it's going to be difficult for you to be next is you are the only non-white people in America who cannot be realistically deported to an ancestral homeland of your own, because slavery destroyed your psychological and biological connection to your continent of origin. So in order to get rid of black people, you have to come up with a program of genocide, because as we've already said, a lot of black people don't even identify with being African. Now, Donald Trump is working on a plan to deport inmates to prisons in Central and South America. So I can see a situation where he's able to be incarcerated, the convicted. But in terms of general black people, I think it's going to have to be a program of genocide, because so many of us do not identify as African in the first place or don't know where we come from.
This is scary because, you know, it's almost like if you look at it, they may be deporting migrants now, but to what demise does that leave us?
But see, here's the thing. The migrants they're deporting, they're deporting them to countries that they know they come from. These people have an ancestral connection to the countries that they're being returned to. And most of them have only been out of them countries for a generation or two.
And this takes me to my next point.
Not 20 generations of slavery.
Because if you're putting them back to their original countries, that means that you are removing the responsibility of them being in your country and being harmed. So if they're back in their country, they're their responsibility. But who's coming for us?
Well, they're coming for us. Here's my point. Deportation is not the only weapon being used or that could be used against African people. As we talked about the miseducation, the mass incarceration, the police genocide, the homelessness, the gentrification, and the economic apartheid, we have more concerns than just being deported. These are individuals who came here, who are benefiting off of the black struggle for civil rights and set-asides, who have never spoken up or defended black people at all. And so their argument or their issue is one of people who have recently arrived. They are not the people who built America. We built America. Our argument is completely different as someone who is coming in to benefit from a country that they did not build. We made this country brick by hypocritical brick and have contributed to its building more than any. I see our situation completely different than I see the migrants.
Based on what Dr. Umar just said, we are the only people on the planet Earth who has an identity crisis. We don't know if we're black, if we're African Americans, if we're Africans. We are the only people who will not identify with who we are because of the genocidal systems that has caused us to be stagnated in our approach towards our ancestral African heritage and our identity. If we just sat and read books on our history and realized who we were, we will become a much powerful people. We're the only race in the world who has an identity crisis. But get in the comment section. Let's talk about this, y'all. Let's talk about it.